Hi there! Our customer needed to ensure uninterrupted operation of their mission-critical system. So, they decided to implement high-availability solution for their SQL Server databases, but they experienced difficulties with configuring the solution the most efficient way. To meet the customer's needs, we prepared configuration instructions and performed technical support on implementing the recommended architecture. Our support allowed the customer to perfectly configure their system according to SQL Server best practices without affecting the performance. Building error-free and highly available system largely depends on the proper configuration of the operation system and the database. So, we started this project with providing optimal settings for Windows Server and SQL Server to ensure seamless performance. For Windows Server, the recommended settings included power, antivirus, firewall, and Windows Update settings, as well as page file configuration. After that, we prepared detailed instructions that covered each step of SQL Server installation. We paid special attention to service account permissions. Once SQL Server was installed, we could move on to configuring it. We developed a script which configured alerts in such a way that the system automatically responded to any occurring issues. We also specified modal database settings that would serve as a template for all new databases in the server. We set the maximum number of SQL Server error logs and increased the retention periods to ensure a reasonable size of history log for jobs. Then we provided the script that automatically configured the database mail. We decided to create one temporary database data file for each 2 CPU cores on the server. We wrote a script with the job that started SQL Server traces required to diagnose performance issues. For the same purpose, we set the correct number of logs and developed a job that regularly created these logs at midnight. After that, we proceeded to implementing always-on availability group. Essentially, this group is a synchronized set of primary and secondary databases that fail over together. If one of the databases fail, a replicated database will carry out continuous operation of the system. To enable always-on availability groups, first we had to create and configure failover cluster. Then we created the availability group with database replicas, configured their properties and initial data synchronization preferences. We also provided PowerShell script that configure availability group listener. Once we ensured that all availability group settings passed the validation checks, the customer system was ready to go live. Our technical support massively reduced configuration time and effort needed to set up failover environment. That allowed our customer to cut high availability implementation expenses. As a result, they obtained protection from revenue losses caused by downtimes. Thanks for watching. Find more information on our blog.